Okay, so where to next?
Bar.
Bar.
So,
Yep. I appreciate that, you know.
going to be in the nearby settlement. You said that's a 4-hour walk?
It is a 4-hour walk.
I suppose we should probably take our spoils back to the ship before we try and walk anywhere.
So what you would just need to do with the data core is you can just take it to your shuttle and plug it in, and then it will start relaying data in a essentially useless form, and the computer can start crunching away.
Okay.
No, Dire Panther, no. I'll be 1 second.
Tell me that's not an animal.
It is.
Does anybody else think there's a risk to uploading potentially corrupted software?
Yeah.
Do we scan it first?
The ship.
We did try to scan it.
In part of the break, I had to feed the kitten that gets fed in my office. And then he was threatening to shut my computer off, so he gets to no longer be in my office. Okay. So bar time.
Uploading data. That's a good question. We don't have an obligation to retrieve the cadavers for like. What am I talking about? The Combine isn't gonna ship them to their families in caskets. They're not gonna do crap.
They can't.
Especially since they've been dangerously irradiated.
Beyond that, so the Combine has brought their... Basically, the Combine presence in the Bleed is essentially one space station. With lasers and other folks sort of acting in... acting for the Combine. And there are things like this team... but yeah, official Combine governmental presence is essentially a single space station for a area that contains thousands of inhabited planets.
That seems inefficient.
And the big thing that the space station does is it's the routing center for laser contracts.
Is this OSA 1?
Yes, it is OSA 1.
Okay. And that is Judy Coyle in command. All right.
Someone has been reading their book. Okay, so you can use the truck left here. However, that actually wouldn't shorten your trip by that much.
Also, it would really quickly associate us with this base that the locals apparently, or at least some of them, didn't like.
To be fair, I mean, you guys all might as well have a star pinned to your chest.
I think it might, if it doesn't shorten the trip, it might make it at least a little bit safer. And could we just fashion a white flag on the front of the truck? I'm serious.
You can find a white bed sheet.
Go streaking like... oh my gosh. Strap it to the back and it's just flapping like a flag behind us. Slash. Because if it's in front of us, we can't drive.
We surrender.
Okay. So, a few hours later, you are able to get to the bar. Well, it's to the settlement. But the only obvious public space in the settlement is an open-air bar.
Open air.
It lacks a name, but the bioluminescent sign features a bottle of beer and a mug.
Very creative.
Um, a concrete patio facing onto a dusty street houses a collection of battered metal tables and chairs. More tables and chairs sit under the bar's roof. Like most of the settlement's structures, it's made from a mix of shipping materials, prefab building components, and comparably intact chunks of rubble dragged from the old city's ruins. On entering the bar, you guys, the lasers, sense an immediate hardening of attitudes. You recognize this as the standard reaction when freelance lawmen, such as yourself, enter a lawless place.
Sounds like a perfect opportunity to double down and spend a point of cop talk.
Oh, I was gonna see if they,
Actually, that sounds like the opposite of a good idea.
I was gonna say, what can I do in this situation with downside? Which is the opposite of cop talk.
A friendly gesture might be in order.
Okay.
Maybe buying around for the house.
That's exactly what I was gonna do. I want to go to the bar and ask how much a drink is.
Okay. Well,
They tell you an amount. It's small enough that it's not worth us tracking. Because remember, we track in millions of credits.
Big creds.
using double.
As the cultural officer, I'd like to maybe dip into respect and indicate that we come with no ill will. Buy around for the house with no preconditions.
Okay.
And I'm going to adopt whatever appropriate posture or gesture is the what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of how do you do fellow downsiders kind of posture. I don't know.
So something that you guys do notice is there is a group of Dura.
Yes.
There's a group of Dura who congregate at a back table. Otherwise, the clientele is mostly human, with a scattering of Saibs. The obvious person to start chatting with is the bartender, a burly, wide-jawed man named Tom Kresh. Kresh. I don't know. Kreesh. There's a bunch of different ways you could pronounce those letters.
Do we have any Dura in our party?
Nope.
Nope. And Ire is frowning the moment she sees him, so she don't want to talk to him.
Vovid, there is something that your forensic anthropology notices about the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
The raised red flesh on his arms is a symptom of long-term exposure to low-level radiation.
Do other patrons seem to have that as well?
Some of them, yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Might I? I'm going to approach Kresh.
Okay.
All right. I do want to have a little powwow with the team beforehand. I think we're all on the same page, but just, don't
Checking.
fire. Yeah, don't fire unless fired upon. We come with the best of intentions. Information is better than bodies. But I mostly want to just use my instincts and flattery, respect and reassurance in some kind of amalgamation, and love what you've done with the place. Should I keep going? I mean,
By the way, Vovid, I'm so sorry. When I said some, I meant many.
All right. What would a sign of advanced exposure look like?
The raised red flesh.
All right. Nothing further in like their eyes, or just they start to look like they have cancer everywhere.
Eventually, probably.
Is there any way to discreetly scan these photos? Which I think, if I remember correctly, is very illegal. But
I mean, we all can like, yeah, these people by living on an irradiated planet know full well that their lives have been severely shortened, and clearly living outside of Combine Authority is worth that much to them.
I mean,
which is sad that
we don't know that they know they're dying.
they have all that information available to them.
That's fair.
Pretty bad. Like, I'm pretty sure people, or especially the very young and very old,
Which
would
you
have
don't
already
see.
died. And I'm sure,
You do not, at least at the moment, see anyone who is very old or very young.
yeah.
You
assuming
see,
that they have already died.
you see people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s.
I'm gonna assume that it's no surprise to anyone that this planet is killing. But I would be surprised. Wouldn't be the first time that humans' collective complacency will have surprised me.
Keep in mind that scavengers like this, if they find a good haul, they'll be set for life.
They might not be planning on staying here.
A life that's been cut by half by living on a cancer ball.
Life cut by half, but their riches increased by 1,000-fold.
Could I do a little bit of a human history check? And I want to know what type of attitude these scavengers and the patrons of this bar might have towards outsiders, different races, and I'd like to use that to my advantage during...
That would come from talking to them.
Well, whenever we're ready.
Okay, so you go up to the bartender. What do you say?
I go up to the bartender. I say, "It's amazing what you can make do with such little, and the resilience of scavengers never ceases to amaze me." I introduce myself, Alistair Kincaid. Been sent by the Combine to check on some whiny scientists down the road who probably shouldn't even be here if they knew it was good for them. Am I right?
He chuckles at that. You came to check on the suit fruits. How are they doing?
Deceased.
What was that, Ire? I didn't hear you.
Boiled.
We got there and we weren't even able to really get into the place. So we'll try again later, but I don't think this is going to be a very fruitful mission, if you ask me.
He looks at Vovid. Did you say deceased?
Did I spill the beans? Oops.
He meant probably deceased, knowing that these little these wisps couldn't last on a planet for real tough types. Am I right?
So that sounds like you're flat out lying to him.
Basically,
That would be a deception. Do you want to spend anything in deception to?
I do.
We literally just had an outside the bar powwow where we were going to.
But we don't do that within earshot.
I guess we said we were going to downside them, which means start out lying. But I guess I missed the memo.
I think Alistair is the only one who got that particular bit of the memo.
So, how do the rest of you guys react to Alistair just straight up lying to the bartender?
I mean, he does what he has to do to get information.
I mean,
Smile.
yeah, but like, Ira's also not very good at lying per se. So she's just kind of blinking because, like, okay.
So, Alistair, what I'm going to say is due to the reactions of the rest of the crew, no spending on this, at least at the moment, and Tom looks at you hard. Are you lying to me, boy?
Am I lying to you? Not yet. I might not be totally forthcoming with the truth yet, but can you blame me for trying to feel things out?
Well,
Look, we have a job to do. If I can just cut to the chase, the sooner we can get out of here and leave you folks be. Am I right?
sure. You know, no one around here much like those suit fruits. But, you know, respect for the dead and all of that.
Sure. And to be honest, this is just a job. I just want to know if you can provide me with any information on what might have happened.
I don't know what happened, but so no one around, you know, the suit fruit that I keep mentioning. It's a term of local abuse for hopelessly overcautious types, like the EvBase crew, who wear their environmental suits whenever they go outside. I mean, can you believe it? The only EvBaser that anyone liked was McClung. Now, that was a man, he could hold his liquor. But he stopped coming here lately, and to be honest, relations between the base and the community have deteriorated since he stopped coming in. He was really our link to them.
They seem to think the opposite was true. They outright banned him from coming here. He thought that he was stirring you up.
I mean, sure. The boys might have banged up their base a little. They were just letting off steam. You know how it goes. Nothing damaging or criminal about it. Just boys being boys.
Sure, we understand.
I saw that shake of your head.
What shake? Yeah.
If they're your boys, would you consider yourself like, a father figure around here? Or are you just one of the boys?
I don't think he means that kind of. I don't. That kind of boy.
I suppose that I am what passes for a civic leader here, I guess. But no, if you're looking for a leader of the people who banged up the base, you'd be looking for a guy named Derek Streets. There's no one around here that's more respected than him, at least among the scavengers.
But you're respected among the traders.
I'm respected among the traders in the fact that they know where to find me and know that I can buy their goods. Most business types They like to deal with the single person.
Can you
So a
blame
lot
him
of
for wanting a little
trade.
stability?
What was that, Ire?
Can you blame him for wanting a little stability?
Didn't say I blamed him.
So because of that, a lot of trade goes through this bar then.
Sure. I mean, he points over at the Dura. I mean, the Lagos Corporation likes it here well enough. They're good people.
Can you tell us about them?
I mean, Dura or Dura. They sold us these, and he takes a little. He's got a necklace with. It takes you a second, but you realize it's a radiation meter, or at least that's what he claims it is. This lets us know that there's not too much radiation. If it goes off, then it's time to worry.
Where'd you get that?
I just told you. Logos Corporation sold to us. Sold
Sounds
everyone
very
around here.
handy.
Boy, I could sure use one of those. Eh?
I mean, yeah. I think mine's busted.
Go
She's
on over to
referring to the
them.
scanners.
I'm sure they'll sell you some.
I want to lean over and just before we go over there, I want to lean over and say, can we cross-reference actual radiation levels with what's showing up on whatever the Logos Corporation is selling these folks? I think we get what's going on.
Yeah. Just by looking around, it's not. Yeah, they're selling them snake oil. And
You know, if Akko got her hands on one, she'd definitely be able to figure that out.
Oh. Ire's gonna make a face as she looks over at the Dura again, but it's like, unless we're talking to him.
I mean, one of us can go over and offer to buy one off of them, see how they respond.
Yeah, it does not need to be you.
So does anyone have bullshit detector?
yeah.
Yes.
I have
Okay.
two.
You notice that the four Dura are trying very hard to look uninterested in you and to watch you without being seen to watch you.
Oh no, oh no.
And these are corporate types, so I am actually gonna, or not without huddling first, since let's all agree what strategy we're gonna be using to talk to people.
So if you guys want to find out more about the Lagos Corporation, that'd be forensic accounting.
I've got that. Do I need to spend point?
No.
Okay.
So the Lagos Corporation is a small but thriving business enterprise founded after the war. It specializes in munitions sales. Though its reputation is one of shady dealing, it never gets caught doing the truly nasty stuff.
Is it Aldura?
Yeah.
It is a Dura corporation.
Yeah.
Does anyone have history Dura?
No.
So that's something that our medic would have. Okay. That sucks.
Hey, the only history I know about Dura is that I fought a bunch of them.
You have history with the Dura. You don't know history of the Dura.
Exactly.
Huddle powwow.
Since these guys are, no one has who has bureaucracy?
I do.
I do.
That might be the best way to approach a corporation. If that doesn't work, then I'll try cop talk. But
And if that doesn't work, I can just make them. I can just flip. Yes.
Look at the door.
Okay.
Hey, she's trying her best.
Can I talk to Tom and just have a round sent over to the Dura table?
Oh,
And,
you guys have already had your round sent out.
okay.
A better one.
Okay.
Not myself. What a Dura's drink.
Cheers.
Great. Should we go talk to them?
Sure.
Yeah, and dipping into bureaucracy, whatever I could surmise from that. But I'd like to approach and say, here's to keeping the citizenry safe and free from harm with technology.
So there's one. There's a gap-toothed woman with thinning hair who kind of looks at you and says, "I'm Adachi. Who are you?"
I am Alistair Kincaid with the Cliffhanger. These are my friends.
So you are the captain of the Cliffhanger. I am the captain of the Bishru.
The Bistro.
Yeah, sorry about that. We almost landed on it when we dropped at a port. Sorry. We didn't. It's fine.
Well, of course it's fine. You're here.
I'm interested in these radiation readers that you have, and we don't seem to have anything of such a nature. It would be very handy. May we procure some from you? I'm just curious, would like to take a look.
She points to your tethers and says, "Clearly you have some equipment for this, but we do honest business here. We'll gladly sell you some."
The folks here seem to think that your devices are far more reliable than any other
I
tool.
got that screaming in my ear.
Yeah, ours show that there's ample radiation, and apparently, look around you. That can't be right. Yours must be of much higher quality.
They must be, yes. And she snaps at one of her companions who goes and gets some. Also, for the audience, the Dura are supposed to have this really whiny, nasally voice. I don't have it in me, at least tonight, to do a whiny, nasally voice for a female Dura, so I'm not. But maybe in the future.
Arachi, your voice sounds like the most sultry, beautiful tones from the most trained Bala soprano. It's magnificent.
So that sounds like you're using some flirting.
Yeah, and Ako's just behind him, just kind of very just don't know what he's doing right now. Good God, it's weird.
Yeah, if I may we join you? I think we already have.
Sure.
How much business do you do on this planet?
She shrugs. We do some. You know, it's better to salvage old weapons than to use valuable resources otherwise needed by the rebuilding effort to construct new ones. Some of the weapons that are found here even still work.
That's always good. This used to be a mining colony, didn't it? Any of that equipment still around?
She arches her eyebrow at you. Sure, it used to be a mining colony in the way that Earth used to be a planet covered by tents. There's a lot of history between Ares 3, the mining colony, and Ares 3, the desolated wasteland you see before you.
Speaking of weapons, we had a funny thing happen on our way down here from orbit. Is that our navigation and weapon systems on our ship had a very curious malfunctioning. Did you experience that with your own ship?
No. We've had it parked in orbit for several months by now. Nothing's ever happened to it.
Do you ever supply more advanced tech to anyone on this planet's surface?
I think you misunderstand. We procure weapons here. We do not sell weapons here.
But you do sell radiation trackers.
Yes. We have to make a profit somehow.
Who makes those?
One of our people gets sent to here.
Sell them.
We sell them here.
Okay.
I had a question, but I can't remember what it was. Oh well.
There's a science station, a little ways down the road.
Yeah, the EvBase.
You know anything about that? I mean, I can't imagine they're doing anything of service to humanity, being sciencey and all. Probably make it pretty hard for business. No.
Not particularly.
Oh.
They are doing a survey of the environment. It would be pretty bad for business if they were to completely overreact and claim that this place was unsafe.
We have nothing to fear from a combined environmental assessment because Ares 3 is perfectly safe. Bullshit detectors go off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The bomb is completely safe.
What would you do if it turned out that the conditions around here were actually unsafe? And I can't imagine this being the case, but if something faulty were to happen with equipment not being able to read things correctly.
If the planet was deemed unsafe,
Yeah.
not much would change. Maybe some of the scavengers whose hearts aren't really in it, they may leave, but other than that, not much would change. There'd still be people here trying to make their fortunes. Still be plenty of things to scavenge.
Only less competition. How what a life.
Yeah, so if anything, it'd get better for the scavengers.
How long are you here for?
Oh, we come here, spend a few months, collect enough stuff, go home for a while, occasionally come back.
Do these guys show that any sort of raised flesh?
No.
They leave before anything permanent happens.
And or use anti-radiation treatments.
Yeah.
Arachi, I feel like we know each other by now, and just getting a better lay of the land. Do you happen to have crossed paths with the crew of the Kuriak?
That hauler that comes every now and again?
Yeah.
I've seen them around before, sure.
Nothing of note. They seemed friendly enough. Just want to be sure.
I mean, they're one of a bunch of haulers that makes the rounds. I mean, they do similar things to what we do. They've got stuff to sell. They got stuff they want to buy. Generally, that crew does rare earth minerals.
Just so I know I'm not stepping in it. Do you deal with a guy, Derek Streets, at all?
Sure, who doesn't?
How's he?
How should I know? How?
Where can he be found?
That's something that Tom would be better able to answer. He's a guy who I buy things from every now and again, and occasionally sell him a radiation meter.
I'll tell you what, I want to buy one of these.
Well, you guys have already bought a few of them.
Oh, we already.
Yeah.
Do we need to mark that?
No. Almost nothing that you're going to have to do would be marking. I will tell you if you have to spend something.
I'm gonna whisper. I think we hit a kind of a dead end here. I think we might move on.
Well, I want to clarify that I wrote something down correctly from your cryptic message. It was crazy reading Z right off the scale, like letter Z.
Z-E-E.
Z-E-E. Okay. I do want to talk to Tom again.
Okay. What would you like to talk to Tom about?
Wait, was that human who was talking on that transmission, was it Tom? Like,
No.
No.
You'd be okay.
Better question.
Sure. What's your better question, Akko?
Previously we had mentioned that if Akko could get her hands on one of these, she might be able to figure out what they're doing. I'm trying to figure out what skill I would want to use for
Forensic
that.
engineering.
Okay, that I would like to do that.
How open do
Kind
you
of-
want to be about it?
Yeah, let's maybe do that
Just
after we
dismantle
leave.
it.
Yeah,
One of them.
I'm kind of she's kind of doing it behind everyone and trying to be like subtle about it. kind of
In
fidgeting.
full view of the rest of the patrons of the bar that are all wearing one.
Okay, you have a very good point. I should not do it right now. I'm gonna put a pin in that and do that in like 20 seconds. When we're
There's
outside
a
the
truck that you guys parked just outside.
More audibly, I'm gonna say, see how much more inferior our readers are to theirs. I'm interested to
bar. Yeah,
get your findings.
yeah. I'm just gonna.
I keep an eye on the door to make sure that no one has stolen the hubcaps.
There's no doors.
I mean, there's no door
There's
to
no
this
doors.
bar.
Yeah.
There are no walls to the bar either. It's an open air bar.
I am
Just
going
open.
to, and you can call this a preparedness or sense trouble thing if you want, but yeah, we did park outside a scavenger planet, so I'm gonna make sure we still have hubcaps.
You still have hubcaps. No one has touched your truck.
No.
Akko, are you going to
Akko's
go into the
gonna-
truck and take apart one of
Yeah.
these things? Yeah, they do
Akko's
jack
just
shit.
be like, yeah, no, this, yeah.
Like,
They
the
do jack
light
it.
is not even hooked up to anything.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
I'm feeling yeah, that's bad. That's very bad.
There's not... There is a chip inside. I mean, if someone who doesn't know what they're doing takes it apart, it looks believable. But that's about it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Akko's just like,
Can I take some photographs of that? Because Ira would have left, with her. Because like,
Sure.
I don't like Drew.
yeah, no. Akko just kind
Drew, whatever.
of whispers to Io, just like, shit.
So
It's-
I'm gonna take some photographs or
Yeah,
whatever
what
the
would-
hell they're called.
One might be worried if one was to be worried about this.
Click.
Just click.
just
And
start
Akko's just
taking
like-
photographs from like all angles.
And Akko is as freaking out as a Bala can do.
So while they're doing that, I'm gonna pull Alistair aside. I want to talk to Tom again, try and track down. Wow, I already forgot his name. It's right in front of me.
Derek.
McClung's contact town. This Z fella from the encrypted message.
What's McClung's first name?
Is it Zach?
It is
Oh,
Zach.
Is that that's Z? Never mind. That's why
He's Z.
being done. Okay.
Yeah, who he was talking to is the big.
It's the other person. Okay, I misunderstood that. Never mind.
So we do need to find where Streets is.
It's where Streets is. That would be the where we talk to Tom then as well.
And then maybe we could get a read on if these radiation readers were to be faulty.
I think we all know practically that they are.
Yeah.
Now we have it as evidence.
We don't want to rock the boat too much, and we don't want to make it appear as though we're unnecessarily trying to scare the populace.
That's not what we're here for. But if we have to come up with against these guys in the future, we have blackmail. I don't know.
Well, the person to tell, I think, would be
That's it.
it's sweet time coming out. The person to talk to about the radiation readers might not be Tom, because he's gonna have to have a good relation to the Logos people and all the other traders. And Streets is going to be the one he said has a high reputation among the scavengers, so they might be most likely to listen to him if he says there's a problem. So if we want to do something about that, we would have to talk to Streets, is my deduction, my hypothesis.
I also want to
Conversely,
hack our ship and turn the weapons on.
Well,
and conversely, we want to gain these people's trust. Tom appeared to be somewhat of a leader. Was that right? Community man, closest thing they have to a mayor around here, or
Basically.
and I think we need to be gentle with that news. But maybe it would help to sort of lightly tread into that territory and feel him out.
For what?
Thoughts? Indicating that these radiation readers might not be working up to standard.
The ones sold by the people he thinks of are as good people?
Mm-hmm. And it seems that the Largos Corporation, they don't, at least Arachi doesn't have any knowledge about making these. That's not her area of expertise. She just sells them.
Apparently.
But they look healthy.
Yes.
well, if you're going to be selling snake oil, you're probably going to want to know that that's what you're doing. So chances are they know that there's a scam.
Okay, so tread lightly. Would you like to talk with Tom
Yeah, figure out where Streets is.
first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to talk to him about Derek Streets?
Yeah.
Okay. He says Derek isn't around right now. He must be off on a run. He does that fairly often.
Off-world, you mean?
No, he doesn't leave off-world. Are you crazy? It's expensive. Man like Derek's trying to make money, not spend money.
Fair enough. So he's on a run scavenging then.
Probably.
In one of the cities?
Any idea where he might be last whereabouts, roughly?
Why would he tell me?
All right.
Anybody know where this guy tends to come back to?
Here?